Is this any better? You can hear me, right, Leo?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Okay. All right. I'm making sure here. And he's got a thumbs up now. It's like, why can't somebody hear me? That always freaks me out, man, because it's I always check my stuff before I go live. So, and it could have been just it could have been just something. Who knows, man? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So we'll stay with this camera here, just to know that it's working now. So if I was muted before, I apologize. So here we are live with Leo Metal Guy, and so Leo, we're going to jump in with you, man, and ask some questions. First of all, let me know, man. How long have you been playing guitar? What got you in guitar, or anything like that?
I started playing when I was 15, so that'd been 1995, and I got my first guitar on Christmas. This little cheap acoustic Honer, but to me that thing was like golden. And but what got me really into wanting to play is hearing Randy Rhoads on that tribute album.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I want to be able to do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where my stuff just began and took off.
Right. Okay. Randy Rhoads tribute album. I remember when that came out all those years ago, I remember having that. I thought it was pretty wild, man. I was like, man, I didn't know much about Randy Rhoads then. And but when I heard that live album, of course, when I had that cassette album, I always went straight to his solo, listened to that solo. And it's really kind of the same thing he always did. And if you've seen the old footage of him when he was with Quiet Riot, he kind of did that same type of solo. It was kind of the same structure, I think.
And did you ever watch that documentary on him?
There's one that I purchased from, I got it from, was it Amazon or something? Randy Rhoads documentary. I bought it. It's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah.
It has some interesting stuff because he apparently had this just felt guilty about leaving Quiet Riot and joining Ozzy because he wanted to make it big with Quiet Riot. And I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, he had this little bit of guilt about it.
Yeah, I think that, of course, being with Ozzy, that was a bigger and better opportunity at the time for Randy Rhoads. If y'all were just joining, but Randy always struck me, and I'm just going by what I remember reading and hearing through the years, as kind of a quiet, laid back kind of guy. I don't think he was a real rowdy kind of, regular rock persona type of personality.
No, the way I understand it, like if he wasn't at rehearsal or on stage, he was like had a guitar in his hand somewhere. He wasn't like, it didn't seem like he was like really into the whole party lifestyle.
Yeah. I don't think he was either. I don't know. But I tell you what's kind of sad. I remember seeing there's an interview that was done on YouTube where I forget the channel name, but this guy, when he does his interviews, he always does them over the phone. And so there's no video of him talking or his guest. He just has like snapshots put up, right? And he was interviewing, was it Kelly Rhoads? Randy Rhoads' brother and sister. And he was asking them questions about certain things with Randy's guitar playing in his guitar, and man, they couldn't really say nothing. They just really couldn't, because they just didn't really know, And I was like, wow, that interview is kind of bombing, kind of wild. But it was still pretty good. But some of the common sense things you would hope that they would know, they just didn't know. I was like, wow, that's kind of sad. But but they're still around. They're still kicking and all that. But I think I don't think they have nothing to do with music. I think his brother tried for a short while, and nothing came from that because there's only one Randy Rhoads.
I know his. I think his mom had that school open, or is it still open now? Or did they ever close it? I'm not sure. But,
I don't know about that. I know it was open for a long time. I think now it's just I don't think it's active school anymore. I don't think.
I think it's more like kind of like a tribute, like a museum to him or something.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah. If you're just joining, folks, we're talking to Leo Metal Guy here. He's in the community. He's been in the community for a long time, and he's in North Carolina, and he likes in his name there. He likes metal. He's a fan of metal, and we were talking about Randy Rhoads. That was what got him going to play guitar when he first heard that tribute album, Ozzy with Randy on there. And so, what else? What other things do you have like your guitars, man? I mean, do you have like, for instance, do you like your guitars to have a Floyd Rose? Does it matter, or do you like them to just be regular, just hardtails?
Yeah, I mean, I've had Floyd Rose in the past, and I'm more. I don't use them enough to where I can I gotta have one. I just kind of more hardtail it.
Yeah, okay.
And which comes back on some songs. It comes back to home because there's a lot of '80s metal that it's like crap. I need one for that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
yeah, it's like hard to dive on with hardtails.
Yeah, unless you got one of those pedals, that you can like those whammy pedals. I guess if you could do that, but I just never cared for those. I'd rather have a Floyd, but that's just me. So I'm assuming since you like that genre of music, do you play a lot of stuff in lower tunings?
I'd say the lowest tuning I've done was typo negative, and that was down in A.
Wow.
And I will tell you, that's where a 7-string guitar really comes in handy.
Oh, okay.
Because, it's about, no, not A, it's B, I'm sorry. B, because if you got the 7-string, it's the 7th string is in B, so that's when you play typo negative, because you don't have to tune your guitar down. It's already there.
Mm-hmm. Huh. So do you have any 7 strings?
I've got one. Let's see, you might be able to see it. I don't know if y'all can see it, like right there. The Schecter Reaper.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can lift it up and bring it over here, but
yeah, that's I've messed. I just messed with a 7-string one time in guitars. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, guitar right here is awesome, man. It's like it holds tune, and I mean, it's just beautiful. I love it.
That's nice, man. Now, where did you acquire that from?
This one, I think I had ordered it off of. Was it? I'm gonna say it might have been Sweetwater. I think.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think that's where I got it. It's either Sweetwater or Reverb. I think it was Sweetwater.
Okay. Yeah, I've never messed with it. Well, that's wrong. I take that back. I messed with a 7-string one time in Guitar Center, and I just had it, and I was like, nope. I put it right back on the hook. I just said, nah, I'm not into that, man. I tried, and I just nah, I can't. I just can't. It's just not for me. But there's a lot of people that like it,
Well, if you get like if you're into some heavier stuff, like say metal, certain black metal stuff like typo negative, and you don't want to have to tune your 6-string all the way down, it really comes in handy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of this newer stuff that's like 7 strings are just like started kind of taking over with it.
Right.
And now if you're just playing like 80s metal, classic rock, things like that, you definitely don't need a 7-string for any of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just never. I mean, it just wasn't for me, but that's all right. There's a lot of people that like different stuff, and so what's some of your favorite groups?
Which genre?
Whatever you want.
Say,
whatever you want.
I would say, as far as classic rock, my all-time favorite has got to be Deep Purple.
Oh, really?
Because
okay.
Richie Blackmore was doing some heavy riffs back in those days. I mean, stuff that like nobody had really seen or heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, in second to that, I'd say probably Zeppelin would be second on my classic rock, kind of 70s, 60s, 70s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as 80s metal, Iron Maiden's my number one.
Oh, okay.
Just because the harmonizing guitar parts, just how everything's structured is just it catches me, and it's like wow, it's like that just sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Judas Priest, always a classic. Let's see, who else? I'm trying to think. There's who else in the '80s? Motley Crue, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like Motley Crue back when they first started really getting out there, like the younger days.
Oh yeah.
Because to me they were putting out the best stuff then. And
right. They were young. They were young and hungry back then too.
Yeah, and they've always put out good stuff, but like to me, the best stuff was like the early days, like Theater of Pain and
mm-hmm.
and Shout the Devil, things like that.
Yeah,
and of course, Poison. I thought CC's just was killer on guitar. Yeah,
yeah, I thought he was a perfect fit for that band. Yeah.
Well, I remember seeing that, like talking. I think it was Ricky Rocket was saying that him and Bret Michaels would butt heads constantly, but when they finally came together on an idea, it was something that is like awesome.
You talking about CC and Bret when they would?
Yes.
But yeah. It was I talked about last night on the stream, talking about how Poison has had a couple of different guitar players, but to me it just wasn't Poison without CC. It just wasn't the same without him.
No, I mean you get that good mix, and it's like you just know that that's the band right there. That's the perfect mix.
Right. Yeah, it's
and it was the same thing with Kiss. Like Kiss without Ace is not as good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not the same, man. It's not the same. I mean, I remember when that was, as far as any Kiss stuff goes, I'm not a huge Kiss fan, but I always was intrigued by their story and their history and everything like that, and as far as each member's makeup, I always thought Ace's was the coolest. Not only because he's the guitar player, but because he just, it was just low to me. And Gene's looks good too, but not as.
Well, I thought Kiss with Ace, that's always gonna be the best. And I would say, as far as Kiss goes, somebody I thought who was very underrated was Bruce Kulick.
Yeah.
And I thought when he's with Kiss, he did some really good stuff too.
Yeah. Of course, that was in the non-make days, I believe.
Yeah, what was that like? What was it, Hot in the Shade?
Hot in the Shade, I think.
Like
yeah, stuff like that, I believe. Yeah.
I think Eric Carr was drumming in the band at the time, and they had like it's like okay, it's like this is it's not Ace and it's not Peter Criss, but this is still a good mix right here for what they're doing.
So what do you think about them today? I know they're officially, well, they say that they're finally retired and finally done. So what do you think about the Kiss?
They've been saying that for
over 20 years.
They've been retiring for 20 years.
So the lineup, the most recent lineup, what's your thoughts on that?
It's not bad. I mean,
Tommy Thayer on guitar and Eric Singer on drums. I think Tommy Thayer. The reason I'm asking that is because I have an audiobook and it's called Power Chord, and of course it's referring to power chord, like for guitar power. We do power chord, and it's really interesting. And the author of the book actually goes out and meets all these guitar players that their heyday was the 80s, and now they just have regular jobs, and but he ends up somehow, I don't know how he gets a meeting with all these different, over time he has meetings with these guitar players. It didn't happen like in 1 week or whatever. It took months, probably a year. And so somehow or another he's lined these meetings up, and one of them, the guitar players he talks to, is Tommy Thayer. And they were actually getting ready for a show that day, and Tommy Thayer actually let him come up on the stage and look out. Of course, before showtime. This is before sound check and all. talks to Tommy Thayer and all that stuff. And Tommy Thayer used to do a lot of, he kind of worked his way up the ladder with Kiss, according to that book. And, you know, he did a lot of things, and he finally just stuck around the organization for so long, and they all knew that he was a guitar player. And when Ace had quit those couple of times, they brought Tommy Thayer in with the makeup, and he already knew the songs. And what was bad is when they brought Ace back for another reunion thing, Tommy Thayer had to show Ace Frehley his own songs because Ace couldn't remember them on some of the solos. And also Tommy Thayer had to be like a guitar instructor to Ace Frehley on some of those songs, which I thought which is kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, because I mean, and I wonder how Ace. I wonder what Ace is thinking about that, because he's like, "Damn, I wrote this, but now this guy's having to show me my own stuff."
That's and I'm sure, I don't know, but I'm assuming he was probably still maybe battling substance abuse, you know, in those early 2000s maybe.
Yeah, because I seen him. He opened up for Alice Cooper about, was it 3 or 4 years ago, and when he opened up for Cooper, I mean, he was just awesome. I mean, he was on it.
Yeah,
he was up there just, you know, playing the songs just like he used to, telling jokes. I mean, just killing it.
Yeah. He finally, from what I can see and all, I think he finally got clean and sober. You know.
Oh yeah.
Which is about time, because he's in his 70s now. I think in his mid 70s probably. I'm not 100% sure, but I've always liked Ace. I've always liked his little, you know, his little sense of humor and stuff like that. I always thought, you know, and him and Peter Criss used to always get in a lot of trouble together, even during the reunion days, you know, and all that. But yeah, but it's a cool book to check out on Audible. It's called Power Chord. If you've never heard of that, which, you know, you probably haven't, check it out. You know, get on Audible and check out Power Chord. It's a fantastic book. I was really shocked at how good it was. I was like, Power Chord, what the hell's that going to be about? You know, but it was really good.
I've got to read that.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
I know I'm a huge WASP fan. I love WASP. I've seen them live and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen some interviews with Chris Holmes, and he was talking about how he says that Blackie just ripped him off of like so much money.
Oh, wow.
And there was one point he was saying they would go on tour, and he would come back from the tour. He would have to go work with his brother, or I think it was his brother, just to earn some money to get by. And I was like, well, how is that? You just want this massive tour, you know, how are you broke? But he says that he was being cheated by Blackie somehow. So that, you know, and which I'm like, you know, I don't know, you know, it's pretty much he said thing at this point. So nobody's going to know like really what happened. Of course, Blackie's going to say no, he wasn't cheating.
Yeah. That kind of puts me in the mindset of Vivian Campbell and Ronnie James Dio. You know, with all that went down all those years ago, where Vivian said he wasn't paid like he was supposed to be paid or something.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Jake E. Lee when he did when he was jamming with Ozzy and doing Mark at the Moon and all that stuff. Apparently, he got like really, really ripped off. I mean, he got the bad deal.
Wow, man, dang. Let me got a couple people jumping in here. We got Metalhead Hippie there. I'm behind on the chat there. What's up, Hippie man? How are you doing? What's this? Is this Buckeye Punchy? Hey man, how you doing? I like that avatar, the high C logo. I ain't seen in a long time. Did Tommy Thayer play Gibson Les Pauls exclusively? I want to say yes. He actually, from what I understand, he had a deal with them, and he has his own signature model too. I don't know if it's still out or still available. I have no idea. But I know at one time he had his own signature model, and it wasn't that bad. It was it might have been an Epiphone model. I think it was like $5.99 or something. And at one time I almost bought one, but I'm just not a Les Paul player. I mean, I got some, very, very few, but yeah, he did play Gibson exclusively. Yeah. So yeah, he had it going on, man. I mean, for stepping into that makeup and because he was considered, him and Eric Singer, man, were considered sidemen. You know, they got a paycheck. They were, you know, they didn't like own none of the kids' name or anything like that. Kind of like with Joe Walsh and a couple of another member or two of the Eagles. You know, they got paid when they played. You know, and that was it. They didn't own any percentage, but interesting. But all right, so who else? You talking about Kiss as far as classic rock, and you said 80s. You said what now? Poison and who else?
Oh, definitely Poison. Yeah, Poison, Priest, Maiden. Like I said, Maiden is my number one. Yeah,
right.
And I'm trying to think that as far as I think I think Candlemass came out in the late '80s too. So I kind of dug them too. If you might be able to correct me on that, because but that's a little bit darker, more doom metal. But I was into rap too. The stuff that Robin did and Warren DeMartini. That guy's just insane.
Yeah, it's
and
I think him and Stephen Pearcy are on tour right now. And I keep seeing that on social media. You know.
Well, I'll tell you a band I'm into that I've always liked, and I might get some crap for this one, but I mean, Winger was a really good band. Like,
they were awesome.
They
were.
The stuff he did on the guitar was just like mind blowing, and he's still just as good today as he was then.
Yeah, Red Beach is incredible. Yeah, he's. I remember when they came out in that '80s hair kind of metal, and I think they caught the last little wave of that. And
it was like right. I was listening to a guitar clinic and I had Red Beach, and he was talking about when he was playing around with the riff for 17, and somebody in the studio was like, "Hey, what's that?" And he's like, "You need you need somebody to arrange that, and please don't be Kip Winger. Please don't be Kip Winger." And so it was Kip Winger. He said they wound up. He said that, but now Kip is they're best friends. He said, "I'm glad I met the guy."
Oh yeah, Kip Winger's an incredible songwriter and arranger. You know, he's all kind of accolades, man. He's incredible.
I'll tell you the song that really that got me really into that was that song "Time to Surrender" by Winger, and to me that song was just amazing. I like it. You know, the way it's arranged, the guitar parts in. I mean, his guitar tone is just like way out there.
Yeah, it's a shame that how they got all that backlash from that show on TV, and it kind of messed him up there. Blue Monks in the chat. What's up, Blue Monks? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Let's see, Michael Curtis. He says, "Hey everybody, I came in late as usual. I've been playing catch up, going back and watching the interview." Well, if you watch the very beginning, my audio might have been muted. I don't know. Some people said there was no audio. But Leo said that he was able to hear me. So I don't know. I think when I swapped cameras, the audio came back. I don't know. There might be a glitch with my computer or something, because sometimes that happens. But anyway, thank y'all, everybody, for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I don't get to do these many streams that often because I'm on vacation this week, so that's why I'm trying to take advantage of it while I can. But all right.
So now, what did you think of what was like? Now I'm also a big Skid Row fan too. So what was the album like? If you had to pick the best Skid Row album in your opinion, what would you?
Their debut album. Yeah.
Skid Row.
Is that the one? I'm not a big Skid Row aficionado, as I'm about to prove, but is that the one?
I think it's the one. It's got Youth Gone Wild. I'll Remember You and all that stuff.
I think so. To me, that was awesome. That came out in like '89, I think. And so I was a senior in high school. That was the year I graduated. I'm showing my age now, but that was that's my favorite Skid Row song. Is I Remember You. I love that. I love that song. Youth Gone Wild, it's okay. And 18 in Life is okay. But I Remember You, to me, is my favorite Skid Row song. That's my favorite.
Well, The one that got me to notice Skid Row, and I seen the video. The video is what got me for Monkey Business.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen that video and I heard that song. I was like, oh man, that is just awesome. I was like, I got to hear more of this band because I mean, his vocals were just phenomenal. You know?
Oh yeah, Sebastian Bach. Now to me, like we were talking about with Kiss and all these other groups, like, and yeah, I know things go on with groups, man. I know things go on behind the scenes that we don't know nothing about, and probably a lot of arguments and stuff. Because when money gets involved and egos start to inflate, things start to change, and some things just dissolve. But it's kind of like two groups come to mind for me that just aren't the same as far as that era is concerned. And it's like Skid Row, when they got, they fired Sebastian Bach. They kicked him out. And Warrant, when Janie Lane got let go. I always thought
he went. He just kind of went downhill, man. Like
he did. He battled. I think he battled a lot of depression and alcohol and all that. And I was watching a lot of stuff about Janie Lane. I was like, man, that's sad, man. But
well, he was on. You remember he was on that show where they took those musicians from and I don't know if they were like trying to get back on their feet or whatever, but like he went down the show and like it was just not the same. It's like his vocals weren't there. And it was sad. He wound up being found dead in some little crappy motel.
In the motel, yeah, by himself. And hey, Bloody Soup, what's going on, man? How you doing? But yeah, he was found deceased in a motel room by himself, and he had a piece of paper in his pocket with his name on it.
It amazed me because I'm like, man, it's like this is a guy who went from playing like big stadiums and it was like videos on MTV, and
well, the music, the music scene changed too. You got to remember that,
Yeah, that's about when the grunge thing started coming in, and
mm-hmm.
So
because their last album they put out with Janie Lane, the grunge was already here, and it was going strong. Yeah. So Warrant was done at that point.
Yeah, and it's kind of a shame because man, like you listen to like say Uncle Tom's Cabin. I mean, that's a great song.
Oh, that's a great song.
They were putting out some good music, and I think they were just a little late getting in the game is what it was.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of bands that came up at the tail end of that era, like Firehouse is one that comes to my mind.
Oh, God, yeah.
Firehouse,
awesome.
Firehouse was from, I think they were formed like out of Charlotte or something, for the most part.
I mean, Overnight Sensation by Firehouse, man, that song is just, whew.
Yeah, their debut album was incredible, and that was, and then it got really sappy with that Love of a Lifetime thing, and it was but that debut album was killer, yeah.
Well, another band like I think kind of got there late was Steelheart.
Yeah, I think that they came out the gates running, and I think the singer, he had I think if I remember right, something happened to him. He got hurt really bad, and they had to cancel the tour and all that. And
he's still doing some stuff now. Like he's still doing like Steelheart songs, but his vocals are just not there anymore.
Yeah. I think he had something. I'm not quite sure, but I want to say I heard that he had. I don't know, man. Like he had a really bad head injury or something, and it kind of took him out for a long time. He had to do a lot of therapy, and I think, but when they were going strong, they were good, man.
Yeah,
they were awesome. But
I think they'd have came about if they'd have got discovered around say 85. I think they would have had a lot better shot at everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands that I think would have done better if they just could have got their foot in the door. Not that they weren't trying, but it's just back then it was just a different scene, man. It was just a different thing back then.
Yeah.
And people, it wasn't up to them. It was up to the gatekeepers. Saying, okay, we're going to put you through, and you're going to make this album. We're going to put you on tour. So you know, a lot of those bands, they did their time and they played the Strip and all that for years. And it's just, and there's just think of all the bands that did that and didn't get nowhere. You know, I
was going to say, I was going to say, look how many other bands you were trying to compete against that wanted that same thing you wanted.
And even today, my son is a huge fan of this one band. They're not, I think they finally broke up, but it was a band called, you might be familiar with them, you may not, but I know they were big around here in the Carolinas, and my son was a huge fan, and he would actually talk to the singer from time to time. And I think he still stays in touch, but the name of the band is Kellen Heller. They kind of mixed up the letters. So, but it's Kellen Heller was the name of the band. And I remember when my son was really young, he was really into them, and they were on the heavier side. And it wasn't my cup of tea, but they actually had an album produced by Rick Beato at one time. So they did this and did that, and then but they kept trying, and they were playing these big shows, man. They were doing, and I told my son, I said, look, you only have much window of opportunity when you're a musician. You only have so much, you know, and that opportunity is not going to be there for long. It's like an athlete. You only have so long in your prime years, and after that, you're considered old, and nobody's going to really care anymore, you know, because time moves on. So my son had told me not long ago that they finally threw in the towel. They never got signed. They played these big festivals and opened up for these big bands, but it just never hit. And I always thought that was sad. Let me look at the chat real quick, man. Let's see.
All right.
The dog he says that I couldn't take the mid '80s and the scene on the Strip in Hollywood. I walked away. Okay, I hear you, man. It's not for everybody. I understand. Jim Guidry, what's up, man? How you doing, Jimbo? Oh, wow. He said he saw Steelheart open up for Lynch Mob in '91. It was a great show.
Yeah, Lynch Mob, another awesome.
Yeah, that's, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that the very first vocalist for Lynch Mob, I'm drawing a blank on his name because they've had a few different ones, but that debut album, that vocalist, I always thought, man, he's incredible, and he is the current singer for Warrant right now, and I think he took he took Janie's spot when Janie passed. He's been the singer of Warrant ever since. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they came to the Civic Center up here a couple years ago, and I was debating. I was like, do I want to go? I was like, is it going to be the same? And I just part of me kind of wished I would have went, but I didn't for whatever reasons. But but I know George Lynch has a new thing he's got going on right now, where he's putting out some more stuff, and that dude's still just awesome today.
He's incredible. George Lynch is amazing, man. And
just before we started doing this, I was jamming along with Dream Warriors, the backing track.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, the riff wise, there's nothing really hard about it, but it sounds so good, and it just goes to show that it doesn't have to be something complex to sound good.
Right. Yeah. I've always, I wasn't real heavy into Dokken when I was young, but there was a few other songs I really liked, and it's a shame that Don Dokken and George Lynch always had a lot of falling outs, man, and they just couldn't get it worked out, and they finally just said the hell with it. Now Don Dawkins' voice, I think, has pretty much had it, but hell, when you're screaming those vocals for so many years, what do you expect? I mean, vocal
and I think
start to fade away,
Well, the same thing with Tom from Cinderella, and
Tom Kiefer,
and he said I think eventually he got with a vocal coach who taught him how to utilize his vocals properly, because he was like, man, he would strain his stuff, and just he had to go to the doctor and all kinds of things.
Yeah, they when I saw a thing on YouTube not long ago, like a couple of weeks ago, they were talking about how they went to see Tom Kiefer perform because he's a solo act now, and they said that
Yeah.
it wasn't like back in the heyday, which they kind of expected that, but he could still make it work. So they might have had to tune down like a whole step or something, you know, for those songs, but they could still make it work.
I think what's really cool about him is his mom said, like, if you graduate high school, I will buy you this. And he had graduated. He got that Les Paul, and I'm like,
oh wow,
that's wild. I was like, little did she know that one little act right there was going to make him as famous as he was. So, I mean, it just really goes to show you, like, you never know. I mean,
let me ask you this, Leo. Let me ask you this, and see if I'm sure you'll know the answer, or anybody in the chat too. What is the one band that had really short success, but they were a dead ringer copycat for Cinderella?
Oh, I know. Britney Fox.
That's right. Britney Fox. That's right.
Britney Fox.
Yeah.
You listen to Girl School, you swear up now that's Tom singing.
When I first heard Britney Fox on the radio, I thought it was Cinderella. Yeah.
Really? I mean, he kind of looked like Tom. So.
Yeah. And I loved their debut album. I thought it was killer. And of course, they couldn't get it together, and things happened, and they broke up. I think they put out a couple albums, 2 or 3, and it just didn't work out, man. And I was like, damn. I love that first album. Let's see. Buckeye Punchy, he makes a comment. He says, same way with Mark Slaughter, great in the 80s, not so much today. Yeah, and I always kind of thought that, man, when I was young and I'd listen to these songs and I'd say, man, there's no way they're going to be able to sing these songs down the road. I mean, I didn't think that far ahead when I was young, but even some of these vocalists, they said that they kind of screwed themselves over by singing in such a high register, because they didn't know they'd be singing these songs for many years later. But
dude from Steelheart, I was listening to something he was talking about when they were doing shows back in their heyday. Like roadies and all that stuff, I think would like always bet like, oh, you can't hit that note again, and like it would be like a challenge every show, and like he would do his best to hit the note or hit higher. And I was like, man, that came back to haunt you, brother. So.
Man, I'm telling you, I just I always had huge respect for great singers, great vocalists, and all that, because it's tough, especially in the hair metal day era and all that stuff. Because man, that stuff. Those guys were screaming, man, but they could make it.
Yeah,
they can make it work, and it's an art form, of course. And I don't see how they did it, but they were young. They had plenty of energy, and plenty of miles still left. But.
Well, I can't remember which. I'm trying to remember the name of the guitar player. You remember back when they did the Hearing Aid thing, where they got like all the musicians together, and. This is back when, about the time they'd done that, it's back when Malmsteen on stage. Like he became like real big, and I can't remember which guitar player it was, but he said that the other guitar players were like somewhat intimidated by Malmsteen because of his speed and accuracy and stuff. And so they naturally started playing faster themselves. And he's like, my God, why are y'all playing faster than you normally do? And it's because they were nervous around Malmsteen. And I'm trying to remember which guitar player that was. It was talking about that. I can't think of it now.
Well, Malmsteen is definitely a force to be reckoned with, especially back then. I mean, he's absolutely incredible in his speed and his dexterity and all that. It was just incredible. I never was, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean, I highly respect how he is as a guitar player. I just never really got into his music, and there's only so much of that. Of that I can take that sounds like I can only take so much of it.
Yeah, I seen him live 3 years ago. He is just as good live as he is on albums. And
oh yeah.
So in front of the stage he had the security guards, and I guarantee you he probably threw out about 500 picks that night out to the crowd. Now, if he threw out the pick and if it didn't land in the crowd and it landed where the security was, he was on them. He was like, get that pick and throw it out there, And I mean, those guys was like running like crazy all night. And I got one of those picks, luckily.
Oh, wow.
And, but yeah, he's really good live. But I mean, I'm like you. I mean, I can listen a little bit, but then I'm like, okay, I need to go to something else now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's incredible. He's incredible. I tell you, somebody else that was really good from that era that I tried to look at the intro of this song, and I just like, nope, that ain't happening. And it's a song called "Green Tinted '60s Mine," and that's by that's damn, I just drew a blank. Mr. Big, and that's yeah, and that was like one of their their biggest hit was "To Be With You," which was more of an acoustic type thing, but Green Tinted '60s Mine was always a cool song, and it's got that tapping intro. Now I remember it wasn't that long ago I looked it up, and I was like, I wonder if I can play that. Now that a lot of years have passed, and I kind of understand more about fingering and stuff on the fretboard, and I looked and I was like, nah, that ain't happening. I was like, and these people that teach you, man, they played it like normal speed. Well, you go here. I'm like, dude, slow down. And they don't want to slow down. I know that you can slow the video down nowadays on YouTube, but I get so frustrated. I'm like, nah, I can't play that, man. There's too much going on. Way too much. I can't stand when you want to learn something, a song, and it's way too much work. I'm like, that's just too much to mess with. That makes it drag, man. I'm like, nah, just let me play some AC/DC or something, man. That's a lot more fun and it's simple,
Yeah, it was the same with Michelangelo Batio. I mean, that dude's like unreal, and he put out some stuff, like, oh, this, like, what was it, Speed Kills or something like that he put out. Is it some instructional video? And even like slowed down, it's like, dude, can you slow it down a little bit more? It's like,
yeah, I mean,
he's just like
for somebody that's not
fast.
For somebody that's not familiar with the song, and you might listen to the song a couple of times, but if somebody's trying to do a video about it, man, I'm like, dude, come on now. You got to keep that in mind. The people watching this that's never tried it before, but a lot of people don't do that.
Now I got a little trivia for the chat.
Okay.
And who could tell me what movie Michelangelo Batio wrote the guitar parts in and also had a small appearance in?
Okay, let me ask a hint. Is it a horror movie?
It's not. I guess you would be in that category, but not really. It's nothing scary.
Okay. Is the movie from the 80s, 90s, or sooner, or what?
Early 90s. Very early 90s.
I have no idea, man. I have no clue. Some people don't even probably know who that is. Yeah, Blue Monk says who? yeah. I know. I know who it is. I know who it is.
So anybody who's not tracking, Michelangelo Batio was the guitar player for Nitro, and now he does like a bunch of guitar clinics and stuff now, all that kind of craziness.
He's the guy that always had the double neck guitar that he could play both at the same time, and
he had like the double neck, and he had like one that had like four guitars that like one guitar.
It was really overkill, and the guy still
I think spin it.
And my son went and saw him up in your neck of the woods. I think he did a Michelangelo Batio did appearance up there in Nashville somewhere, and did like this little guitar clinic, and you could pay extra money and have a one-on-one lesson with him, and my son went to that, and I think it was like a 30-minute lesson or something, and the guy's picking technique is incredible, but. Yeah. I looked at his YouTube channel a time or two a while back, and I was like, man, he's just a little over the top for me. Come on, metal. I'm like, dude, shut up. He's like yelling and shit. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, dude, how old are you?
Think about it. Think about it. If you paid that extra money for a lesson with him, I mean, how's that lesson going to go? Unless you're up to his speed, that's not going to go.
Oh yeah, you're going to I know how I would feel. I'd be like, I wasted my money. Because I can't.
You're going to feel like it's going to be like the first day you picked up a guitar and learned from somebody. You're going to have that feeling.
Yeah. You're going to feel it. Just also, and some things come easier to some people rather than others. I mean, everybody's, it's different for everybody. Everybody picks up on stuff at a different pace, but at on the flip side of that coin, it shows you how much time he put into the instrument, which is a lot. He logged in a lot of hours. I mean, because you can just tell.
I would say the only time he wasn't playing guitar is when he was asleep.
Yeah.
And even then he would have dreams about music theory. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you don't get that. I mean, that's like hours and hours every day. You can't just get
Oh
that from just an
man,
hour or two every now and then.
I love to play guitar, but I'm not gonna do all that. I guess that's why I'm at the low level that I'm at. But I had to go to work, man. I had to make a living. I had to support my family and all that. So, we were talking last night on the live stream. You were in the chat, Leo, but there's some guitar players that I've seen in the past. And this is not a knock against them or anybody, but it's kind of like, I wonder if they even had a personal romantic life, because a lot of them seem like they didn't. They were just married to their guitar almost. And I was like, whoa, man. But
I'd say if they did, it wasn't until after they already made it big.
It's possible.
And it's like, okay, it's like I'm the best that I'll ever be at this point, so I need to chill out just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but oh well. But oh yeah, Blue Monk's talking about that Sawtooth. Is that Michael Angelo Batio? Is that his company, or does he own a piece of that, or is he just affiliated with them? I wonder. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough information. I know he's got a lot of Sawtooth products behind him when he does videos. They're all over the place, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's like his signature model, or if he's just like like Ola England, like I had a hand in making this, and I don't know where he's at with it.
I'm not sure either. I don't know, but Bloody Soup says I thought about buying one of those Sawtooths. I did it one time, and I just said nah. I said nah. There's too many. I don't know. It might have been a great guitar. I don't know, but there's just too many other options out there, and you're not going to be able to sell it for nothing. I mean, plus the name is corny as hell, I think. Sawtooth. I'm like, really? You couldn't do something better than that? But, I mean, what do you have? I have a Sawtooth. What? So where's it at? In the building? No, it's a guitar. It is? Yeah. Never heard of it. But, so, but that's just, and I'm not knocking. They might be great guitars. I don't know. But I just think the name is corny. Yeah. But that's just me, man. But, I think they could have did better on that, but that's all right. So I don't know if he owns that, or he just affiliated or owns a piece of it. I don't know. I've always kind of wondered that. But besides that, Michael Angelo Batio is a killer player. And, so he's put in his time. And what's kind of sad also for me is the way music is nowadays. You don't even, I don't know. I've been out of the mainstream music stuff for so long. I've been away from that, so I don't know what's good today and what's not. But I think mostly everything now is either rap, some type of pop, or country. It's one of those three. And I don't think that the days of glorified great guitar music, I think that's kind of a thing of the past. Unless it's like some metal underground thing, but I don't know. You may know more about that than me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's I agree. I mean, like, it's like the 90s hit and 2000, it's like it kind of, the dwindled down a little bit. And I guess that's like, I mean, I can't get into the whole like rap rock thing. I just couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't either.
I think they called it new metal. It's like NU, like new metal, like Limp Bizkit, Korn, all that stuff. And it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Me neither. I couldn't get into that. I couldn't get into that at all. But when I noticed things started to change with music when I was getting a little older years ago. I was like, man, what's going on? And because you think there's a part of your in your timeline of your life, there's a part where you think things are going to just stay the same forever when it comes to music and all that, because you don't think that far ahead when you're in your teens, in your early 20s, and hell, even in your early 30s. You start to see changes in your 30s. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you're like, oh man, damn, wait a minute. It's like a campground that I grew up in. And when I got in my early 30s, we'd get there and we'd visit, and I'd be like, man, this ain't like it used to be. Of course it's not. It's been, 20-something years that went by. But, and I'd look and I was like, man, the whole atmosphere was different. It wasn't like it used to be. And it was, when I was a teenager, that place was rocking, man. They had great bands that played there on Friday and Saturday night. And they had arcade games and they had pool tables, and, it was just a fun deal. And then when I got older, all that was gone. And it was just totally different.
Well, I think with me it's like that's why I started getting more into like the more kind of non-mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Like I started, getting more into black metal, death metal, things like that, and because I still, they were still, I was like, I don't want to hear somebody tune a guitar like all the way down to almost nothing in 3 chords. I want to hear something more complex. And I think like with black metal, the thing that attracted me to that was I like theatrics and I like metal and I like hard, and they just combined all 3. And it's kind of the same way with death metal too. And but a lot of good bands come out of that genre too, like Dimmy Borgir, Death, Obituary, Cannibal Corpse, Immortal. A lot of good stuff, man. Like, but it's a lot heavier than what it was in the '80s. By way far, but it's still like a lot of good riffs, a lot of good songs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the new metal thing. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. It's a change, man. Change happens whether we want it to or not. I can remember when I started to see. I'm really dating myself. When cassette tapes and CDs were still a big thing, and then over time those faded and everything went to digital, and like a dummy, I got rid of all my cassette tapes years and years and years and years and years ago, and eventually all my CDs I threw all those out because I was like, well, you can get it all on your phone, and which I don't know, I kind of regret and I kind of don't. It's kind of nice not to have all that clutter. Remember the visor, CD visor things you could put on your visor and have all those CDs and the separate.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I still have my CD case with all my CDs in it.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't
and the
have
only reason
any...
I've kept it is because I wanted to show my kids when they got older, like, this is what we thought was high end stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I remember when CDs come out and you didn't have to fast forward, rewind, and you just make those songs. I thought, like, man, we didn't hit the high point.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly know where we could go from
there. Yeah. It's I got rid of all that stuff. Even here in this house, we had DVDs, like everybody else at one point, and got rid of all that stuff. Threw all that stuff out, and don't even have a DVD player or nothing. I went through all that stuff out, man. I was like, I might still have a few old DVDs in a box on the other side of the house that I kept. For what reason, I don't know. I guess I kept a few things just for nostalgia viewpoint, but yeah, man, it's one of those things, man. It's just things change, and that's it.
Well, you remember back when the internet started becoming real big, and you had the CD burner on your computer, and Napster was a thing, and you download all the songs, burn it onto a CD.
Oh man, I did that. Yeah, everybody did. Yeah, that was a big. That was when it was like, you can get all these songs for free, and then it was some of the songs were okay quality and some were crap quality, but you didn't care. You got them for free, and boy, that really opened the floodgates, didn't it?
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you had dial-up.
Oh God, that's what we all had.
Being halfway, you're halfway through getting a song, and somebody pick up the phone,
and then
cancel it, completely wipe you out. So.
Yeah, dude, you've got mail. No, I don't. I remember that.
1,000 free hours.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, I remember doing that just like everybody else when I heard the news about. And that was before internet. That was before like social media and all that stuff. So it was like word of mouth. You would hear somebody say, "Have you heard of Napster?" And I was like, "What is Napster?" And then, man, you can get all these songs for free. You better get you a blank CD. Went to Walmart and bought some blank CDs, and I started downloading songs and they were talking about, that's the same as stealing. I'm like, well, hell, I'm not the one that put it up there, so.
Well, Metallica killed that. They ended that one.
And when I got a little older, I really thought about it. They had every right to do that because it was taking money out of their pockets, and I totally get it. At the time I didn't care, but so yeah, I just but I totally, when I got older, I totally understand, and I would be upset too if somebody found out a way to get something I was providing for my job and I didn't get paid. I'd be highly upset too. So
yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from, and no hard feelings. I get it. I'd be the same way if I took the time to write this, record this, get it mastered, put out there. And,
yeah.
Oh, I just want to say, Blue Mox, thank you for the sub, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Y'all check out Leo's channel, man. Leo Metal Guy on YouTube. Metal Hippie said Lars will get you. That's okay, man. They ain't gonna.
Well, I thought about going on the street corner holding a sign that just says Metallica sued me.
Wow, that's
just to see what would happen,
Yeah, I respect Metallica for what they've done, but I just never been a fan of their music. But but they're still kicking.
The dog paw says he still has some 2-inch tape masters.
Yeah, he's got a lot of that old stuff. Yeah. Is that Buckeye Punchy says, Joe, for some reason I thought you were in Philly, but you said the Carolinas. Yes, sir. I'm in South Carolina. I am in South Carolina. Yes, that is correct. But yeah, I remember when Metallica first came on the scene, when it was making news about them was going through the high school when I was in high school, and a guy in the neighborhood, he made a copy of the Metallica cassette album. He had the jam box with the dual tape decks on it on the front.
Yeah,
and he had made a copy, and he gave it to a buddy of mine, actually Ralph. He was in here earlier, and I remember Ralph gave it to me because he said he wasn't really into it. And I listened to it. I think it was Master of Puppets or something.
Oh, I love that album.
And I was like, yeah, it's different, it's cool, but it wasn't for me, man.
Yeah, I remember. Now, the last Metallica album I bought was the Black Album.
Yeah,
and because they came after that, they came out with like Load and Reload, and it's just like, to me, it wasn't the same anymore.
Right.
And so I haven't bought anything Metallica wise since Black Album. And I mean, if I listen to Metallica, it's like 80s Metallica, like the Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning era, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Again, a group that was young and hungry, and groups seem to sound better in those young years of their.
Well, they got like a lot of flack when they made that video for One. They got like a lot of flack from some of their hardcore fans because they like, oh, you sold out, yeah.
Oh wow! Isn't that the album that has? Isn't that the album that really doesn't have any bass on it or something? And
it was and Justice for All album.
Oh, okay. It's like, where did the bass go, man? I'm like, did they just get pissed off at the bass player and just mute his track or what? I mean, I was like, man. But that's like on Van Halen 0812, you can't hardly hear the bass on it at all. It's like, damn.
Now,
what the hell happened?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I am a way bigger Megadeth fan than I am Metallica.
Oh, okay.
I think, I mean, I just like Dave Mustaine's writing style a little bit better, and the way he's. To me, it just like grabs my attention more. Like you listen to songs like "Wake Up Dead," "Peace Sells," "99 Ways to Die." I mean, those songs they're awesome songs. "In My Darkest Hour," just excellent writing.
That's cool, man. Because wasn't he originally in Metallica before they hit it big?
He was, but they literally booted him out. Pretty much gave him a bus ticket and said hit the road. So, because apparently Dave was just like difficult to work with. And that was back in Metallica's days too, where they were like everybody was like partying real heavy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But after that, he started Megadeth, and because all right, Metallica has a song Four Horsemen, which is a song that Dave Mustaine wrote. But if you listen to the Megadeth version, it's called Mechanics. It's the
Oh,
same song, just different names.
wow. I think I'm not 100% sure. I don't know a lot about Dave Mustaine's history, but I think he's like a black belt in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something. he's got some martial arts background, I think.
Let's see. Dave Orkin, you would be correct. Yes, I am a Merciful Fate and a King Diamond fan.
Yes.
So, for y'all that don't know, I've got a new kid that's going to be born in October, and I've actually named her after my favorite King Diamond album, which is Abigail. So,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
yeah. Somehow I got away with that. Donna didn't really catch on to it. So.
Okay. That's a pretty name though. Regardless, it's a pretty name.
Yeah. But it's funny because I was going to mention King Diamond and Merciful Fate. Well, King Diamond's in both bands, and man, you talk about some awesome guitar playing though. Good God, man! Like the song structure and like it's just wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let's see. All right, now when I was asking about favorite bands, we got into the 80s and all that. So was there any bands in the 90s that you liked? You might have already said that, but just for people who's keeping track.
Let's see. 90s, I would say probably White Zombie.
Oh, White Zombie. Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't really a lot of bands in the 90s that I really liked because it felt like they were trying to find the next Nirvana, so they were just like throwing a bunch of crap out there that just sounded generic.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked White Zombie because they had their own thing going, and it's like I guess like he had the whole like the horror thing going. It just like caught my attention.
Okay.
Because you got like Thunder Kiss 65.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I mean, it's just great music.
Let's see here. Bloody Soup
And
says
Stone Temple Pilots was pretty good too. They had their own thing going. They weren't trying to follow everybody else. So I really like them too.
Yeah. Dave Morgan says 90s had a ton of underground metal bands. Oh, okay.
Hippie mentions Ministry, another great band. I've seen Ministry probably about 3 or 4 times. I mean, and I think they're finally calling it quits this year though, because he's just like he's just tired. He just wants to rest.
Right. They've been at it for many, many years though, haven't they?
Long time.
Mm-hmm.
The first Ministry album I ever heard was Psalm 69.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
Now, I think was it late 90s, maybe early 2000s when Godsmack came out. I really liked Godsmack a lot.
Okay. What about, I'm just going to throw this up there. I don't know a lot about that genre of music, but what about Five Finger Death Punch?
I like them too, and I've actually seen them live. When I was deployed in Iraq, they came over and actually played a show for us and took the time after the show to do a meet and greet with all of us.
Yeah. Wow.
So I got them actually signed one of my 5.56 rounds. They put the initials Five Finger Death Punch on it.
Oh.
I've got a picture of them like signing like one of their flyers for me and all that stuff. They're really cool guys.
That's awesome, man. Let's see here.
But yeah, I mean, they're like one thing I like about Five Finger Death Punch, man, is like they are like they are all about supporting the United States military. I mean, they're all for those guys. And and if you watch anything they do, I mean, it really shows.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying. Have you seen the documentary? Oh man. Oh, good Lord. Hired Gun. Have you seen that? Hired Gun. Have you seen that documentary?
And no, I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God, dude! It's got the dude, one of the guitar players from Five Finger Death Punch, the one that plays the guitar that has like the sergeant stripes on it or whatever you want to call it. I don't know I can't remember his name, but
Oh,
he Hired Gun. Yeah, it's a great documentary. It talks about a lot of interviews a lot of guitar players who like Nita Strauss, that guy from Five
she's
Finger
awesome.
Death Punch. Yeah, and who else? The drummer for Billy Joel. They talked to him. They talked to all kind of. Phil X is in the documentary. It's a great documentary, man. It's fantastic. And when it first came out, I bought it years ago. I bought it on the spot from I think it was Amazon Prime or something. And then now you can watch it for free on YouTube. So it's
Now, yeah. Speaking of documentaries, did you ever? And I'm sure you've seen it. And I'm sure a lot of people in the chat seen it too. What's it called? The Metal Years: Decline of the Western Civilization.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. The scene that sticks out the most to me is Chris Holmes. Like, he's got like his leather pants on and stuff. And he's on the pool floaty. And
Yeah.
he's like down this bottle and flips over in the pool, And
Yeah.
his mom's sitting over here like just shaking her head, like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. 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 Is he still living? Chris Holmes?
Yeah. So I will tell you, Chris Holmes is doing like a solo act now, right? I love Chris. He's an excellent guitar player. He was like, one of my influences, but my God, the man does not need to sing.
Yeah.
Now imagine your drunk uncle at a family reunion decides to grab his guitar and play and sing at the same time. That's what it sounds like.
Oh Lord.
Vocalist is not in his cards.
Yeah.
But now
yeah.
guitar wise, he's still tearing it up. Guitar wise, he's still tearing it up.
Yeah. Dave Orkin wants to know if you've seen. I guess it's a movie called Get Thrashed. He wants to know if you've seen.
No, I have not seen that. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I just bought this new house in January, so I'm like so far behind on everything as far as movies and documentaries.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing a lot of I'm playing catch up right now.
Well, there's two you need to see. That one that he mentioned and Hired Gun. That's two of them you need to watch when you get time.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out. It's and speaking of 80s and stuff like that. Now this, a lot of people like this might throw some off, but do you remember Michael Jackson when he did the Bad tour?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The lineup he had on that, I mean, that was awesome because he was doing was it Dirty Diana and all that stuff? I mean,
yeah, I think Steve Stevens played on that one in the
yeah,
studio.
he did. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like a big pop fan, but I got to give Michael credit. I mean, the Bad album with Steve Stevens and all that stuff, and doing that tour. I mean, he killed it.
Oh yeah.
But now he also done a song with Slash called was it Give In to Me or something like that.
I can't remember the title, but I do remember him doing something with Slash. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go on YouTube, and you get the video is still there. I just watched it a couple weeks ago. Really good song there.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, Michael Jackson was extremely talented, man. It's a shame what happened with him. And I'm assuming that doctor is still in prison, I guess. I don't guess he'll ever get out, I don't reckon. But
well, he needs to do some time. I mean, it's just like negligent kind of stuff. It's like, oh yeah, take all this stuff right here.
Oh yeah, I agree. I haven't heard nothing, about that in so many years. So I'm assuming he's still locked up, which I'm sure he is. But yeah. But yeah, that was something else, man. But so is there any bands of the current time that you've been turned on to?
Let's see. Well, as far as like still putting out albums, still touring, is next week I am going to go see Arch Enemy live in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm pretty excited about that one. Last year I seen Power Wolf. They were awesome, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get a chance to go see them? I mean, they got great music, and I mean, dude puts on like a great show. You know, he's an awesome frontman. Really funny guy. So yeah, I got Arch Enemy next week, and then the week after that, I'm going to go see Obituary for about the fourth time. So, but that's pretty much about it right now.
Okay, so you're still, the reason I asked that, so you're still looking for new things to check out.
Well, I'm always in the market. I tend to lean more toward like more of the underground, like non-mainstream stuff, because
Right.
I'm just not. There's nothing, I guess, on the radio and things like that that just like grabs me and sticks out to me.
Man, I haven't listened to the radio in so many years. Terrestrial radio, I
Well,
haven't listened to that in so many years. I gave that up years ago.
Well, every time I turn it on, it's like just. I mean, to me, it's just nothing that makes me want to keep listening. I'm like, you know.
Yeah. And that's another reason why I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the radio. I just
They're taking like say like Disturbed, like was it Sound of Silence when they did that cover?
Mm-hmm.
And like it blew up, but man, like it got to the point where they played it so much on the radio that I can't even stand the song anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And which is really bad, because I'm like, damn, I like Disturbed, you know, but man, they like wore me out on this damn song.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, you got another sub, Leo. Buckeye Punchy sub to you, man. There you go.
Buckeye, thank you, man. Awesome.
Thank you, Buckeye. That's awesome, man. Awesome deal.
So now, one of my other favorite guitar players that influenced me a lot too was and I don't know, some of the people in the chat probably was into Children of Bodom, but Alexi Leho.
Yeah,
man, I've seen Children of Bodom live, and that dude is just as good live as, I mean, it's like, I swear he never missed a note. It's like, right. And I'm like, how can you be that? Yeah, you're so good that like not even one slip up.
Man, that's forgive my ignorance here. Did he pass away?
Yeah, he passed away. They had found him, and I think it's been about 3-4 years ago now, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, he died pretty young. I don't think he was like maybe barely in his 40s, something like that.
Okay, wow. We got Blue Monks chiming in. He says that can you give a brief gear rundown and your favorites for what you're using on your gear?
So what I got used out now is I got all my stuff ran through a Tascam 12, and I love it, really great. But that master volume is like, oh man, that thing is like a hair trigger. Like there's no in between. It's either super loud or super low.
Oh
wow. Yeah, I woke the kids up a few times. As far as I use a headrush gig board. I love that thing. I mean, it's like every pedal amp imaginable is in this thing right here. Mm-hmm. Guitar wise, just pretty much whatever guitar I grab is closest to me is what I use to do whatever song. Nice. See, that's pretty much about it. I mean, you know, I haven't owned an amp in a long time because I don't play in bands anymore. So there's no point in me having one sitting there, really.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Things have definitely advanced when it comes to stuff like that, haven't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. I use the Kali or Kali, the monitors. That's what I have as far as studio monitors. PC wise, I use Corsair Vengeance, and man, that thing is a beast. If you're looking for a good studio computer that can do video and audio and all that stuff, go with that one. Nice. It's a monster.
Oh, that's cool, man.
But guitar wise, I love Schecters. I love Solar. I got a Solar over here. I only have like one Dean, and that's the Dave Mustaine signature. Is the Killing Is My Business is the one I have.
Oh, okay.
I got a few Epiphones over here. I got as far as Epiphones, I got the SG and the Epiphone Les Paul Gothic from back in the day.
Yeah.
And I love those guitars. But my favorite Epiphone is the Epiphone Brendan Small Thunder Horse. It's got the Burstbucker pickups.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, that thing. For a lot of you to know, every now and again, like with 80 proof, when I first got that guitar, like I was doing the mixing, and I was sending the copy of the mix to Kevin and Lori. And Lori's like, "You got to turn it down." I was like, "I did turn it down. I had to turn my guitar almost all the way on the volume, all the way down.
Good Lord.
Those pickups are like that, just that hot."
Man.
So, I mean, to me, it was awesome. I was like, "Man, this is metal as hell," So I mean, I love it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Oh man. Let's see here. Looking at the chat. Chat's doing good, man. That's awesome. We got some people that are subbing to you, Leo. That's awesome, and some fans of the metal genre. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really
Dave
cool.
Orkin definitely. I say he's a fan of Death Clock, so he knows what's up. When I said Thunder Horse, he knew it immediately. So.
That's right. That's it, man. Yeah.
Hey, I will tell you, if you can get your hands on a Epiphone Thunder Horse, they're hard to come by now, but if you can get your hands on one, go ahead and buy it, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. Just get it.
Oh wow, man! How much do those things run? Because I've never looked one up. I have no idea.
When I got mine, I bought it. I found they stopped making them, so you're never going to get a used one. I mean, well, you're not going to get new when you get a used one.
Right.
And I found one. The one I found had the case and everything. It was like perfect condition. It was, the guy owned it. I paid $1,300 about 4 years ago for that one.
Good gracious!
And I've seen them now go up in price, because now they're getting harder to find.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I had a friend of mine that he's like, I'm trying to find one, but he's like, people keep asking these like crazy prices, and he's like, I'll look, and they have like a chip here or a ding here, and he's like, man, they're just asking something ridiculous for them.
Wow, man, golly. Yeah, here's something. I don't know what this. If you're familiar with that right there, Duncan Hills Coffee, is that?
Yeah. So what he's referring to is a song called Duncan Hills Coffee Jingle.
Okay.
If you watch the show, Metalocalypse, one of the earlier episodes they were hired by the coffee company Duncan Hills to make a jingle for their coffee company.
Oh.
And the song's like maybe a minute and a half long, but it's like awesome.
That's cool, man. Wow. All right. That's awesome, man. So you've been in this new house, you said, since January, correct? Up there where you're at now? Mm-hmm. And so I looked on your channel the other day, so I'm assuming, are you going to some more activity on there when you get a chance?
Yeah, now that I'm like, now that everything's all moved in and settled down, I'm actually working on like 2 cover songs right now that I'm planning on getting up within about the next 2 weeks.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while, but the reason being is because, I was having to work, having to focus on getting everything moved in.
Oh, yeah.
All this stuff. So I had to, kind of put me back a little bit, but now that all that's settled up, the studio's set back up, it's game on from here.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's good. Yeah. There's now before you had to move and everything like that, and did you set a certain day or time aside for practice, or just noodling around? Did you do that a couple times a week? Did you do it once a week, maybe once on the weekend?
Yeah, usually my best times were usually on my days off, because with my schedule, like I have what they call a long week and I have a short week. So my long week, I'm off. I work 5 and I'm off 2, and then the short week I'm off. 5 days and I have to work 2 days. So it kind of works out like that. So I would always plan to practice on my days off, and the only time I got to do that, once the kids went to bed, that's when I was able to, about 8 o'clock at night is when I started getting practice a little bit. And I try to get at least an hour in if I can.
Right. Yeah, that's when that rolls by, you're just warmed up really good. Back then, you're like, oh man, you're warmed up, your hands are loose and everything else. Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah, and but you know, you get older, you start having kids, you start having a family, so you can't just like you can just grab the guitar up and start jamming whenever you want, like you used to back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
I remember, you know, like being back in high school and stuff, and just go home, just grab my guitar, and just start jamming, you know, and have like, you know, nothing to worry about. So
yeah, things are different when your family grows, and I understand that. My kids are grown, thank God. They're grown and out of the house, and they're married and got their own thing going. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have this room, and I wouldn't be able to play the amount of, you know, when I can. It would definitely be restricted, but yeah, man, I've spent a lot of hours playing with headphones on and trying not to wake nobody up, and I still do that today. But I don't know, man. There's just something about playing. I just love to play, and when I can play, I get this fix. You know, it's just like, oh man, that feels better. And you know, it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, other guitar players understand that.
Oh no, I understand completely where you're coming from. So,
yeah, I grabbed that. Where's my point right here? That white. I can't switch cameras because the mic mutes when I switch cameras for some reason. But that's a Hendrix. It's what he used in Woodstock right there, Fender Strat. I played it before we went live on here. I had to spray some deoxide in the pickup switch selector and some on the volume pot. It was really starting to act up. So spray some of that, trying to work that through and see if that's going to make it any better. But so I was sitting there messing with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Metalhead Hippie said, Leo's Chug Master General, quick hands for show. He says, there you go. Yeah, Leo can shred, that's for sure.
I appreciate it. I try, but there's some of those guitar solos I'm like, wow. It's like, do I want to try that?
Yeah, what are some of your other guitarists that you always liked throughout your tenure here playing guitar? Is there some others that stand out in your mind right away?
Chuck Schuldiner of Death, awesome guitar player. Herman Lee of Dragon Force.
He's incredible. Awesome.
Yeah. Brendan Small of Death Clock. See who else? Nita Strauss is awesome. I love her. God, who else? Just offhand. I gotta say, Eric Johnson, old blues player. You know what I'm talking about. Went down to the Crossroads guy. So,
yeah, that's Robert Johnson.
Not Eric Johnson. Robert Johnson. I'm sorry.
Robert.
Yeah, wrong one. But I mean, sometimes I get in the mood. You know, it's like I want to hear like that old school blues. You know, like the old Delta blues kind of stuff. You
know, right?
Because I mean, he was doing stuff. Like, he was jamming on an acoustic, and I'm like, man, that sounds good. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like I grab an acoustic and I try that stuff, and I was like, it sounds sloppy, you know. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's a totally different technique right there. Yeah. Blues is not as easy as some people think. There's even though it's not as fast, but there's still a lot of technique involved in that style. That if you're not real accurate, it's kind of tough. I can't do it. I mean, especially I never could play worth a crap on acoustic anyway. You know, I just strum a couple of cowboy chords. That's about it. But
yeah,
I never could do nothing.
My first guitar was an acoustic, and I had it for a long time. Played it, but I have not played an acoustic in so long that I mean, it's just I'm not. You know, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
What was it? Those dudes back in the days, man, like they had like the 12-string acoustic, and it's like, damn, how are you even playing that?
Yeah, I just, I had a 12-string at one time, and I just couldn't. I tried to pick some notes individual, and I was screwing up all over the place. I was like, because there's no room in between the strings, man. There's nothing. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
mean, if you want to see how difficult it really is, take the intro for Love Song by Tesla.
oh
That
yeah,
acoustic
oh
intro.
yeah, uh-huh,
Oh, and I think that's all finger picked, and I'm like, damn,
yeah,
how the hell do you do that?
yeah. I can't finger pick worth nothing, man. It's horrible for me. I was like, nope, that ain't working. But a regular 6-string acoustic, I can, I can't really do much on that either. But it's better than 12-string. Now,
Well,
12-strings sound nice, but
if you know how to play it, it sounds so good.
yeah,
But see, I think where I messed up at is my first guitar was that Honer acoustic guitar,
mm-hmm.
and it should have been the Esteban. See, that's where I messed up. I should have got the
Oh
Esteban.
man, yeah,
I'd have been shredding in 3 days.
yeah,
I'd have been like jamming death metal, Cannibal Corpse on the acoustic in 3 days.
Oh my gosh! Remember that back in the? I don't know if you remember this or not. I do. I know I do. I'm a little bit older than you, but I remember when I was in elementary school, in that age bracket of my life, once in a while, I would get a comic book from like 7-Eleven or something, and in the back they'd have those little ads, and it would say, "Learn how to play guitar in 7 days" or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And I don't know, man.
Yeah. What knows the ads that had like the really cool looking guy with the long hair and had like the awesome looking guitar, and it's like, so you been able to shred like this guy in 7 days?
Yeah, and they sold all kind of cheap stuff like
Yeah.
X-ray glasses and all that. You just send a self-addressed stamped
Yeah.
envelope with this amount of money, and I was like, damn, people actually sent cash in the mail back
Well,
then.
I would like to meet one person that actually like paid for that, and because I imagine like, yeah, so day 4 I was already sweet picking. So
Yeah, day 4.
yeah. Day 6 I was like, sweet picking with a tap in it.
Yeah, started to solo, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rod wants to know.
Seventh day I was opening up for Van Halen.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. Rod wants to know what your channel name is, Leo, so he can check it out.
Channel name is Leo Metal Guy. You'll know when you see it. It's got a hand like giving the metal symbol. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go over and check it out, man. If you like what you hear, give me a sub.
Yeah, I think Metalhead Hippie put a link in the chat there for Leo's channel a couple of times, Rod.
Yeah, he's got one right there, so I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Put a link in there.
Okay, cool. That's great, man. Great deal. And well, we've been going for an hour and a half. Is there anything else you want to touch on that maybe we didn't touch on, Leo?
And now I think we had a pretty good discussion. I mean, we talked guitars and 80s
Yeah,
metal.
absolutely. Yeah, I had a great time. I know it's
we talked about if you have an Esteban guitar and you order that learn guitar in 7 days.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never that easy, is it? I tell you.
No, I wish.
I wish too, man. I'd be a whole lot better. But anyway, man. So yeah, I know people are getting ready to go to bed. It's after 10 o'clock here on the East Coast, and I just want to say, man, thank you so much for being on here and participating in this interview. It's been really cool.
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me. Everyone who come in to listen, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody, don't forget to I guess we'll be live again this coming Saturday on the Joe Wentz Project TV, and hopefully I'll get this audio situation straightened out. It's done this once before with this other camera. So when I started off the show, it was muted for some reason, and when I swapped cameras, the audio came back. It's just, you just never know. This computer probably has to do an update or something like that. But anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it very much. And until next time, we will see you then. And don't forget to subscribe to Leo Metal Guy. All right?
All right,
We'll
guys.
see you later.
Have a good night.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.